Okay, so what I'm going to demonstrate here is how to make a pixel perfect pixie rollover graphic. Um, and so what I have is this object. It's a button, and the problem that we run into is that it's not perfectly situated on its canvas. So you can see it's like not right in the middle, and that makes things a little bit difficult. But that's fine. So we have a way to deal with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and add in a new layer. And I'll drag that down underneath, and I'm going to fill that with 50% gray. The reason I use 50% gray is that way I remember to delete it later. If it's white, sometimes you would forget, and then you have to go re-export this thing. So now that this is there, right? So let me go and add in something else here. I'm going to say like buy stuff. So that's a nice quality call to action button right there. So in order to get this to shift correctly, I'm going to go in now and make the canvas size double what it is right now. So currently it's 100 or it's 70. This thing is going to shift top to bottom using the pixie technique, and so that means the height of this needs to be 140. And I'm going to have the canvas expand from the top center so that it'll expand down. By the way, notice that I deleted the background layer that Photoshop puts into the document by default, if you have Photoshop set up to do that. The reason for that is that the background layer is static and it causes this expansion step that I just did right now to not work right. So I should have mentioned that at the beginning. So now that I have this expanded, I'm going to take all of my layers and I'm going to group them, and I'm going to call that normal. And then I'm going to duplicate that group and call that hover. And I drag hover down there. And then I'm just going to drag hover, holding the shift key down to the bottom, and it should snap into place at the bottom of the canvas. So now I need to do something to make this hover effect different so you can actually tell you're hovering. So I'm going to go in and just change the direction of the gradient. That would be real classy. And then finally I'm going to go in and hide those two gray background layers, and then export this as a ping 24. And that's it. So this thing should now shift perfectly top to bottom because I used those background layers to align it perfectly. So it doesn't really even matter what the content is. All you're really doing is just setting this thing up so that you can have this document be twice the size it actually needs to be. And the thing on the bottom is oriented in the exact same position as the thing on the top.